she's one of the first woman leader in real estate.
Within 6 months of working with them, I realized that people at site don't want to listen to a woman. This was back then. He told me, do you want to try sales? And I think by the 5th day, I realized I wasn't going to make the best of the architects or designers.
आपको उस समय on the court सिखा कौन रहा था? Like who was helping you understand the basics of leasing? क्या होता है? कैसे करते हैं? अच्छा.
He's been my boss for the last 22 years.
What challenges did you face as a woman? And your family? उनके लिए ओके था कि 7 साल लगा दिया आर्किटेक्चर में और उसके बाद सेल्स कर रहे हो?
My parents did ask me, are you sure you spent 7 years?
Now where do you see Gurgaon as a city? As a city for people who live in and for investors also. Two different things.
See, as a city to live in, at the moment, I think it's one of the most unlivable cities. Delhi, over the years, I think it's increasingly becoming a poor cousin to Gurgaon.
अभी करंट पॉपुलेशन के लिए रोड्स अच्छी नहीं है और हम रियल एस्टेट में इतने साल काम करने के बाद हम खुद ये बात बोल रहे हैं. फिर भी क्यों बढ़ रहा है गुड़गांव?
इतना भी खराब नहीं.
ऐसा भी है कि गुड़गांव इज आई थिंक द ओनली कॉस्मोपॉलिटन सिटी इन नॉर्थ इंडिया. करिश्मा, नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट सुपर लग्जरी. अभी गुड़गांव के जितने भी न्यूज़पेपर में एवरीवेयर दैट यू हियर 190 करोड़ का अपार्टमेंट बिक गया, 100 का बिक गया, 120 का. अभी DLF's न्यू लॉन्च, दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एवरेज टिकट साइज एज 100 करोड़.
I think we're kind of just getting on the global map.
Any advice you want to give the youngsters?
This is the industry of growth. You can definitely make a long-term career in this industry.
वेलकम टू पॉडकास्ट बाय स्पेस क्रिएटर्स. आपको सबसे पहले एक बहुत बड़ी रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप लोग हमारे पॉडकास्ट रेगुलरली देखते हैं मगर हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं करते, तो प्लीज़ कर लीजिए. जबकि अभी वैसे हमारे 5000 सब्सक्राइबर्स पूरे हो चुके हैं और एवरीथिंग इज़ हैपन ऑर्गेनिकली, यू नो. एंड वी आर गोइंग टू डू अ पॉडकास्ट and we will talk about both organic growth of Gurgaon and inorganic growth of Gurgaon, which has happened over the years. And we've invited a guest who's very special in many ways. One way is that she's one of the first woman leader in real estate. You know, she started in the early 2000s. She's a qualified architect. She wanted to make a career in architecture, but chose to get into sales, strategy, leadership, marketing, CRM, everything she's done. She's worked with various developers like Vatica, AIPL, M3M, IREO, many great projects that have been delivered under her leadership. Most importantly, she's known for the way she's interacted with her teams. And every person that I personally know of have been in her team has really been groomed and taken care of. So in this podcast, we will talk about the journey that she's had. We will talk about very good advice for investors, especially when it comes to Gurgaon. And we will also talk about that if we get private players to take care of the infrastructure of Gurgaon, we'll do a really good job of it. And with her 22 years in this industry, she's contributed to a lot of growth of Gurgaon. So let's welcome Karishma Kaul.
Hi, Vipin.
So, very important question, you know, especially for people like me who hardly studied, that you studied architecture and 4 years, 3 years?
5 years.
5 years. 5 years. Bachelor's was 5 years. You spent those 5 years. I'm sure you must have thought a lot about creating buildings and creating townships and cities. बहुत कुछ आपने सोचा होगा. But जब आपने करियर शुरू किया and till today, आपने सारा टाइम स्पेंड किया in sales, marketing, CRM of most beautiful townships and buildings. But how come that change happened and what it required on your part to adjust to that change?
Vipin, ये change gradually हुआ. In fact, it started in the 5th year of architecture.
Okay.
So we, in the first semester, we had to select we had to take an elective.
Okay.
Which could be a course other than architecture. So I had taken up project management as a course. And through those 6 months when I was studying it, I found that course to be very practical.
Okay.
And I think by the 5th year, I realized I wasn't going to make the best of the architects or designers. And I didn't want to be just another architect doing bad buildings.
Okay.
So honestly, मेरी वो तीसरी आंख तब जागी होगी. I'm believing that. So project management, I realized, interested me. And when I finished architecture and I had to go for my master's, so I decided that I wanted to explore project management as a course. So for my master's, I applied for it at the School of Planning and Architecture, Delhi. And somehow I got through that course. 12 seats ही होती है, but somehow I got that.
How project management कैसे different है from hardcore architecture?
So project management is very different. So it is the execution at site.
Okay.
So you project management is about. So this course that I did was called Building Engineering and Management. So it's about how much labor,
Okay.
cost, and whatever else will go into creating a building of this scale in this much time. So it's more scientific. It's about execution
Okay.
of the work, not the design.
Not the designing, it's the execution.
And in that course, they also taught us general management. By the time I finished the course, I realized this is what I wanted to do. I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. It was very practical and it kind of resonated with what I wanted to do. So I started applying in project management companies. These IPCs had just come into the country and I applied with almost all of them. कुछ local project
management companies थी.
जहाँ मैंने apply किया. So as an intern, I worked with a company called Stein Doshi Bhalla when they were executing this Trident Hotel in Gurgaon.
Trident, this one, Gurgaon.
हाँ, वो तब बन रहा था. तो उनके साथ भी मैंने दोबारा अप्लाई किया when I finished my course, but मुझे कहीं भी नौकरी मिली नहीं.
अच्छा.
So
ये कौन सा साल था? Which year?
2002.
2002. Okay.
Then I worked with a contracting company called Continental Furnishers.
Okay.
They were doing a project for Bharti Realty then. Amex का एक project बना रहे थे in Gurgaon. Within 6 months of working with them, I realized that people at site don't want to listen to a woman. I mean, this is back then in 22 years ago.
ये सुनेंगे नहीं.
3 years ago. The people at site were not receptive to taking orders from me because I was like the project manager at site. तो तब मुझे लगा कि ये तो नहीं चलने वाला. And the contracting side wasn't that
कितनी देर में पता चल गया आपको कितने टाइम में?
in about 6 months.
अच्छा.
After I finished my course and I got into the job. So फिर मैं एक developer company के पास गई. I applied with this company called Vatika Group.
Okay.
So I applied in the project management division.
और जब आपको पता चल गया था कि नहीं सुनेंगे फिर भी आपने फिर भी same
I thought it would be better on the
developer side. Okay.
The contracting side, you're dealing with the labor directly. So मुझे लगा if I am with the developer side, I'll be actually doing those, so like I told you, this project is more scientific. It's not just the execution at site. There's a lot that goes
Before that
on
also.
the computer and everything. So you're planning the whole, how the execution of the project will be. So I thought at the developers end, I'll get to do all of that. जो मैंने पिछले 2 साल और
सीखा था.
किए. But so for a period of 1 month, मेरे multiple interviews होते रहे. I met with the construction head, and he put me onto some of his deputies who took my interviews as well. And after 1 month, I realized Vatika ने भी मुझे reject कर दिया.
अच्छा, they said कि नहीं.
Which I got to know much later then that the construction head had told the person who took my interview, okay, we don't want another girl. So
अच्छा, पहले भी कोई लड़की थी.
there was one who was, I think, in the electrical team or something.
Okay. They didn't want.
We don't want a female in the team. But somehow, Gautam and Gaurav had just started in Vatika. And I had, during that period, because Gautam was taking care of the project
side,
I also got to interact with him quite a bit.
Okay.
So I think he, in our interactions, he was keen that I work with Vatika.
Okay.
So he got me, उन दिनों उनका वाटिका garden retreat होता था,
Okay.
which is now Western Sona. So he got me to design some cottages there. He probably wanted to see.
In the interview.
Yeah. And so like I told you, my
Interview process.
the whole process lasted about a month.
Oh my God.
So multiple rounds में जब construction team ने मुझे reject किया, so Gautam probably I think wanted to try if I could be their in-house architect over there.
Okay.
So I did a lot of that as well. And फिर I don't know, I don't recollect what happened, but finally I think he told me, do you want to try sales? I said, I have never done sales and that's not what I want to do. I spent 7 years
studying
architecture and then the project management and all that. So, but I didn't say no either, somehow. So he got me to meet Gaurav. Gaurav, I think was 22, 23 there. But our interaction was good as well. So Gaurav se mili, and then he got me to meet Pankaj, who was then heading the sales.
Sales.
I unse bhi mili, and somehow I don't know what happened, and I got into the leasing part of it. Vatika mein tab sales to thi nahi, leasing.
Leasing ही थी.
They were doing
Their own building and
ready, and Vatika Triangle was under construction.
Okay.
So in my mind, I thought, let's give it a try. I don't know, one thing led to another, and I realized I was enjoying the leasing part.
Leasing part of it.
तो वहाँ से एक्चुअली वो जर्नी शुरू हुई. पहले कुछ दिन और आई थिंक महीने भी आई वाज स्टिल ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट व्हाट आई एम डूइंग. यू नो, हैविंग स्पेंट सो मेनी इयर्स स्टडीइंग आर्किटेक्चर, मैं क्या कर रही हूँ,
क्या कर रहे हैं, ये थॉट आता होगा बार बार कि 7 साल लगा दिए.
एब्सोल्युटली बार बार आ रहा था. ऑल्दो कई सारे कॉर्पोरेट्स वर कमिंग टू अस एट दैट टाइम. उस वक्त ग्लोबल बिजनेस पार्क was one grade A building, and कुछ एक आधा थी DLF Corporate Park and एक आधा और buildings थी, but then there weren't too many. So a lot of very good blue chip corporates were coming to us.
So you got to interact with them.
Yeah, and we'd meet with their decision makers. So a lot of time, if it was an MNC, their expats would also come in, and the big decision makers would come in and kind of figure out ki building ki kya technical details hai. They'd get into a lot of details. So because I had come from the architectural background,
तो वो help किया आपको.
I used to get into the depth of what all had gone into Vatika Triangle. So when these companies do a due diligence on a building, they don't just see the facade and the floor plate. There's a lot more that they get into. They get into the specifications of the services. They get into the security side and much else. So, when I started interacting with those companies, when they were kind of taking their decision, I kind of enjoyed those interactions. And, meeting the CEOs and CFOs and all of that. So it was good. And after 6 months, I realized, this makes sense.
This makes sense.
Let's stay here. So my journey actually began
with leasing,
the business side of it, from leasing. Yeah. And I think वो अगले 1 साल तक तो leasing ही चलती रही until Vatika decided to take on this project called Vatika City. It was their first residential project. And उस वक्त भी I was not to be a part of the sales team. Vatika hired a very elaborate sales team to sell that project. Over the course of next 2-3 years, I do not know how. I think some of those people probably left, and I was asked if I would want to get into
sales,
give sales a try. And I said, why not? Because leasing up काफी देर से मैं कर रही थी. Beyond a point, it was you were looking after the leasing of multiple projects, but it was still the same thing. I said, let's give something new a try. So Vatika City की sales में घुसी, and then Vatika launched a few other townships, तो उनकी sales में घुसी. Then I was at some point in time asked if I wanted to give CRM a try as well, and I had slowly the CRM team report onto me, and I realized it was all fun. मेरे को तो मजा आता है. I like interacting with people and I like leading teams. So that's what I realized during the course, and it wasn't difficult. It was.
आपको उस समय ऑन द कोर्ट सिखा कौन रहा था? लाइक हु वाज हेल्पिंग यू अंडरस्टैंड द बेसिक्स ऑफ लीजिंग, क्या होता है, कैसे करते हैं? अच्छा,
He's been my boss for the last 22 years.
but was he training you? Did he have issues कि women ज़्यादा नहीं होनी चाहिए इसमें, or he
Not
didn't?
at all.
He
So
didn't have.
we were a 2-member team.
अच्छा,
When I joined Pankaj, there was, one of his other team members had just quit, I believe. So हम sales या leasing में हम ही 2 लोग.
अच्छा,
So it was just him and me. It's just that he was too busy because there was pressure of leasing out Vatika Triangle as well. So whatever time he'd give me, he's the one who coached me. So he's my guru. But नहीं मुझे सिखाया.
सिखाया. Do you think having a guru helped you in forgetting कि अच्छा मेरे को architecture ही करना था और मैं sales में क्यों आ गई? Do you think that was a big support?
It was a big support, yes. And during the course of doing the leasing, I think in that journey I realized maybe this makes more sense. I could relate to it. And over a course of time, I realized this is what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And Vatika, you were clear कि real estate sales is what you want to do.
Oh, absolutely. हाँ तो वो like I said, one thing led to another. It started with leasing. Then I was asked if I wanted to get into sales as well. At some point, sales started reporting. There's CRM Maya, and it was, all these things together.
Everything
Makes sense.
came to you. Now, tell me one thing. At that time, there were very few women. That's what I believe. Very few women. What challenges did you face as a woman?
Honestly, at work front, not many.
Not many.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except that I think initially with the channel partners, I did feel that there was some hesitance in
Okay.
kind of interacting with
From their side.
from their side. मुझे तो कुछ नहीं था. So other than that, not really. On the leasing side, it was quite smooth because, MNCs and big corporates are used to dealing with women and were even at that point in time. So the only challenge perhaps was in trying to overcome that barrier with the channel partner.
With the channel partners.
But otherwise, really none.
And your family? From their side, उनके लिए ओके था कि 7 साल लगा दिया आर्किटेक्चर में और उसके बाद सेल्स कर रहे हो?
हाँ, absolutely. So the decision to get into architecture was mine.
अच्छा, that was also yours.
The decision to then pursue project management was mine again. My parents did ask me, are you sure you spent 7 years, pursuing something different and now you're getting into sales? So I said, this seems to be my calling and I wanted to give it a try. So they were fine. मेरे को कोई ज़्यादा, there was no pressure from the family कि architecture में ही रहो या project management के अंदर ही रहो.
एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, अभी जब आपने बोला कि 22 साल से पंकज जी आपके गुरु रहे, अब ये बहुत रेयर, it's a very rare thing that we see that somebody considers somebody a guru and they last together for such a long thing, touch wood, and जो भी wood है. So rare होता है कि somebody has this long a partnership. इसमें क्या की रही है? Why I'm asking this question? मेरा ये question mostly youngsters के लिए, the new generation, कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि गुरु शिष्य वाला जो रिलेशनशिप है या पार्टनरशिप है, whatever we can call it, वो मिसिंग है अभी. एंड क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल से सिखाया नहीं, बताया नहीं किसी ने कि ऐसा भी कुछ होता है, आपको किसी को सुनना भी होता है. तो इसमें क्या की पॉइंटर्स रहे आपकी तरफ से और क्या की पॉइंटर्स रहे पंकज जी की तरफ से जिसने इसको सस्टेन किया?
So I can talk from my point of view. जो मैंने observe किया है about
आपके point of view से.
this relationship. So Pankaj never held back any information from me.
Okay.
और any secret, वो secret, अपनी secret sauce उन्होंने कोई अपने पास उसकी recipe नहीं छुपा के रखी.
जो आता था सिखा दिया.
Yeah, whatever he knew, he kind of passed it on. That sense. So over the years, what we realized was that it was a very complementing relationship. I knew what Pankaj would expect of me in terms of work or whatever were the deliverables. And he also knew that if I've entrusted her with something, it's going to get done. So it was it's been a complementing kind of a relationship where, we both know he knows what I can do and I know what he's expecting and that gets done. So that's how it has worked really.
हाँ, तो मैं इस क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा सा और डिफरेंटली पूछूंगा. मैं आपको बताता हूँ मैं कहाँ से पूछ रहा हूँ. आपने ये कर लिया तो आपको बहुत सिंपल लगता है, बट एक बहुत बड़ी जनरेशन है जो इसी से स्ट्रगल कर रही है. आप समझ रहे हो कि किसी को गुरु मानना, उसकी बात सुनना, उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना, उसको यूज़ करना और सक्सेसफुली रिजल्ट प्रोड्यूस करना. अब आपको ईजी लगता है, आपने 22 साल से किया, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि अभी जो लोग नहीं कर पाते वो क्या मिस कर जाते हैं? लाइक व्हाट डू दे मिस?
A lot, I'd like to believe.
हाँ, वो जानना ज़रूरी है.
Look, we all spend most of our waking hours at our workplace. So one thing is that, the environment at your workplace has to be conducive enough for you to perform your best.
Yes.
And all said and done, हम में से कोई भी उतना अपनी families को time नहीं दे पाता
जितना काम पे देते हैं.
जितना काम पे देते हैं. So things have to be your way in that sense. So if you have, somebody who you look up to, who has your back, तो आप शायद without hesitation you're able to deliver your best. So at least that's what's worked for me. So I've always known that I have
Somebody
who won't, even if I fall, who will
be there to
and be able to get me out of it. So that has always brought about the best in me. So that's what I'll say. तो मेरे लिए तो बहुत ही
simple
अच्छा रहा है to have somebody who's my guiding light in that sense.
I think अगर सिर्फ एक ये चीज़ लोग समझ जाएंगे ना, I think it will be very easy for people to choose someone who has their back and then fly.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes both ways, Vipin. So you also need to be able to have that mentor who can kind of hold your hand and who can selflessly pass on, whatever knowledge they have onto you and not feel threatened. I mean, we've never had that situation where either of us have felt threatened with each other. I've never felt, oh, why is he still my boss? मैं कई बार लड़ाई होती है तो उनको बोलती हूँ कि come on, let me grow. But otherwise, no, we've never had that situation where either of us have felt threatened.
This is a very
ज़रूरी चीज़ है. तो आपको कई बार क्या होता है that you feel insecure and insecurity brings in the worst in people. So touch wood, that way is I think neither of us have felt threatened with
each other.
Growth.
Yeah. So
because I think we both had our own journeys. In spite of having worked together all these years, we both had our own journey.
When did you step into leadership in real estate? After Vatika or during Vatika?
During Vatika, I think it was 2008. 2008 maybe. When I was the de facto leasing head.
Okay.
A couple of people who were reporting to me in leasing. And when sales and CRM also came to me. So that part of the business was being taken care of me. So sales and everything came to me in 2008, I think. Okay. So I was the head.
You were the head. And then what was the next company you moved into?
From Vatika, we moved on to join IREO.
IREO.
In 2011.
I think it was first couple of years of IREO in India.
Yes, it was. So IREO had been around for a year or so. Okay. They launched their first project about a year or so before we joined them. So it was their initial years. Yes.
Okay. So in IREO, what was your role again?
Vipin, I joined them to head the international sales.
Okay.
They already had a local sales team in place. And I joined them to head the international sales at that point in time. And within 6 months, I do not know what happened, but I was asked if I want to get into mainstream sales as well. I said, sure.
In India.
I already had that network of channel partners. So they decided to divide the sales team into two. And जो channel partners उसका काम नहीं कर रहे थे IREO के लिए मुझे वो दिए गए.
क्यों?
I don't know क्यों.
हाँ.
So, I mean, the other team was asked to kind of pass on the channel partners to me. तो मुझे non-performing channel partners दिए गए. But over the next year and a half or two, I mean, God was kind, and I think ours was a better performing team.
हाँ. So now, what's the secret of having channel partners perform?
Well, you need to have the right relationship with them. You need to be able to you need to be able to communicate your product well to them, to explain the merits and everything else. And I guess that's what's most important. So I think it all boils down to the interpersonal relationship. That's the primary thing. Whether the two parties are able to, understand each other or not. And that works a lot with channel partners as well. So, मेरे लिए तो वही सबसे ज़्यादा काम किया है, sir.
So, see, one thing I've seen, what I've noticed with you and with Pankaj ji, आपकी जो product knowledge है ना, I think आप लोग बहुत time spend करते हो before you speak to the first channel partner about a product.
Oh, absolutely.
So, your product knowledge is very, very good. Second, your market analysis, so that the competitor analysis of that product can happen, that is also flawless. Like, आपको सब पता होता है, अगर कोई भी चीज़ उठा, आपको पता है कि कौन सा क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. So you're well prepared with that. And third thing which I've noticed is that आप कुछ छुपाते नहीं हो. There is absolute transparency when it comes to transacting with channel partners. It's not that you will take the developer side only because that's where your loyalties lies. You're pretty transparent and you'll guide. I think that is something that has been very different from most people in the industry.
Vipin, I mean, I've been in this industry for the last 22 years.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of new channel partners get introduced every year. During the whole drum. But there are people that I have known for these last 22 years. So, I mean, that relationship is paramount, right? I have to be able to face you. I have to be able to face a client. And I have to be able to face my team. So, I mean, there's no reason to hold back anything because you have to sell a product on the merit of that
product.
So, you need to know the merits well. So, there's no point in trying to hide anything. And there's no point in trying to oversell or do any of that. I mean, if it clicks for you when I'm telling you about the product and I'm telling you why it makes sense to me. So if it clicks you, you're going to sell anyway. And if it doesn't click, you're not going to sell it. Isn't it that way?
It is. Yeah. Now I'm going to ask you a few questions which come from our audience. हमारी audience बहुत सारी question पूछती है. मेरा अपना opinion है, but I want your opinion given you've been in this industry for so long. एक ऑडियंस ने क्वेश्चन पूछा बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग कि आप सुपर और कारपेट एरिया के बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए. अभी बोल रहे हैं एक प्रोजेक्ट लॉन्च हुआ जिसका 2500 स्क्वायर फीट सुपर एरिया, एक का 2100 स्क्वायर फीट सुपर एरिया. दोनों के सुपर एरिया डिफरेंट है बट दोनों के कारपेट एरिया सेम है. तो व्हाट शुड आई बाय नाउ? एंड जैसे लोकेशन भी सेम है और लॉन्च भी 2-3 महीने के गैप में हुए. तो ऐसा क्यों है और क्या खरीदना चाहिए?
Well, I'd be surprised अगर इतना ज़्यादा फ़र्क है because every now and then we
थोड़ा एग्जैजरेशन ले लेते हैं. हम थोड़ा सा एग्जैजरेशन भी ले सकते हैं कि उन्होंने किया हो. नंबर्स उन्होंने यही दिए थे 2100 and 2500, पर एग्जैजरेशन ले सकते हैं.
I think the gap is in the range of about 5 to 7%.
Okay.
Usually. आप मेल पकड़े तो मतलब 3.5%, सॉरी एवरेज पकड़े तो 3.5% का गैप होता है जनरली. So, but I mean, if someone's buying a product, they have to look at the product as a whole, right? They have to see every aspect of the product before they're buying it. And suppose it's a residential
complex
that they're looking at.
Residential apartment नहीं है.
तो फिर उनको तो multiple चीज़ें देखनी होगी ना. How big is the community? What are the other amenities they go to get? And everything else. So
उनका कहना ये था कि आज से 15 साल पहले, 20 साल पहले, जैसे जब आपने वाटिका सिटी बनाया था या और प्रोडक्ट्स थे, तब जो सुपर कारपेट रेशो में एफिशिएंसी निकलती थी यूज्ड टू रेंज बिटवीन 75% to 85%.
When Vatika City was launched, efficiency was 90%.
90%.
By the time we launched the last tower, I think the efficiency was 78.5%.
78.5%. चलो ऐसे ले लेते हैं कि 75 से 90% की एफिशिएंसी होती थी. अभी प्रोडक्ट्स में 55 to 65% की एफिशिएंसी होती थी.
60.
50 to 60 की एफिशिएंसी होती है. तो ऐसा क्यों है? क्या ऐसे चेंजेस आ गए कि ऐसा इतना बड़ा गैप आ गया?
Well, the developer obviously wants to keep a bigger margin for themselves.
Okay.
So that's the primary thing.
That's the primary.
Otherwise, कोई ऐसा logic नहीं है. I mean, if you ever try to calculate where the 45 or 50% is going, you will not reach anywhere.
हाँ.
So it's just that. So, and I think in that range of 5% बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क पड़ेगा नहीं. Like I said, I mean, as a buyer, I would look at the project as a whole and see why it makes sense for me or why it doesn't make sense for me. You need to see much more than just that 5%.
अब मुझे एक चीज़ बताओ, मेरा एक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू था. नाउ करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग. जिसने ये पूछा मैंने उसको ये बोला कि आप अभी डेवलपर ना एक तो ज़्यादा मार्जिन रखना चाहता है, एक पॉइंट है. मैंने अभी डेवलपर वो देना चाहता है जो ऑडियंस मांग रही है. मैंने आप लोगों को पहले से बड़े क्लब्स चाहिए, ज़्यादा स्पोर्ट्स फैसिलिटीज़ चाहिए, ज़्यादा पार्क चाहिए, ज़्यादा एरियाज़ चाहिए. यू नीड मोर रिक्रिएशनल एरिया देन व्हाट वाज रिक्वायर्ड से 20 years बैक. तो वो सारा जो रिक्रिएशनल एरिया है वो इसी में से तो निकल के आएगा. एम आई करेक्ट इन सेइंग दिस?
Partly, yes. But I mean, when it comes to the club, the buyer is paying for the construction of the club and also
फॉर एवरीथिंग.
for its maintenance and everything. But हाँ, अभी amenities भी बढ़ गई हैं. So, where I live in Vatika City. वहाँ पर 6,000 square feet का क्लब तब बहुत बड़ी चीज़ थी.
6,000 स्क्वायर फीट का
1.5 लाख स्क्वायर फीट का क्लब भी छोटा
लगने लगा.
So, हाँ, some area does go into all of this.
But mostly it is the margins which have been.
It is
It is.
just that.
Now, tell me one more thing. From your perspective, like I've seen you very transparent with channel partners or with customers. अब कहते हैं कि रियल एस्टेट में स्पेशली नॉर्थ इंडिया में ज़्यादातर लोग झूठी बोलते हैं. तो हैज़ दिस बिन एन हिंड्रेंस फॉर यू?
Not in my working.
Not in your work.
This is how I am.
हाँ.
तो मैं I'm not going to lie for anything. I mean, किसी को अगर खरीदना है तो वो खरीदेगा.
खरीदेगा, नहीं
खरीदना है तो नहीं
खरीदेगा.
So I don't have to. I mean, that's me as a person. मैं झूठ नहीं बोल सकती. And it has never gone against me really. I mean, कुछ ऐसा नहीं कि मैं उस वजह से I've felt left behind or anything.
अब आप एक डेवलपर के पास काम करते हो and you're the face of the developer because you're the sales head and you've been a CEO, director, sales, everything. Okay, all top positions. So you're the face. अब कभी कुछ प्रॉमिस किया डेवलपर ने मगर वो प्रॉमिस डिलीवर नहीं हुआ. हाउ डू यू डील विद दैट? आप उसको कैसे डील करते हो? कभी किसी के कस्टमर ने बोला नहीं कि आप देखो जी ये तो आपने प्रॉमिस किया था 5 साल पहले या 4 साल पहले, अभी ये डिलीवर नहीं हुआ. हाउ डू यू डील विद?
So you have to. I mean, client ही आपके पास जल्दी ऐसे सवाल.
ऐसे हाँ, क्लाइंट ही आएगा.
You have to be forthcoming and tell them why this or that hasn't happened.
Okay.
ऐसा हुआ है. It's not that it hasn't happened. It has happened. And I guess resolutions निकलते हैं. Honest and in your dealing आप उनको समझा पाओ कि क्यों ऐसा हुआ है. तो you get a resolution to that issue.
So what is the largest size of the team that you held अभी तक? Direct, indirect?
The largest would be my last role at AIPL. I had about 250 people.
250 people as the CEO. Now, tell us something about a leadership position like you're the CEO. What are the aspects you look into so that your team keeps growing and performing at the same time?
Vipin, I think delegation is the key.
Okay.
First of all, when you have the various leaders who are domain experts in their various departments, you have to learn to delegate.
Okay.
एक कोई single person बोले कि I'm the expert at sales and finance and legal and this and that, that's not possible.
Okay.
Because there are different domain experts.
Experts.
You've got to believe that they can deliver better in that domain than you can.
Okay.
As a leader, you need to have the overall organizational goal in mind. You need to know that if today the organization's at point A, to take it to point B, there's some work that needs to be done. As long as you're able to communicate what your goal is for the organization or for that department. So, and you give people the freedom, and at the same time, they know that you're there. You're there to help them, you're there to guide them. I think things get done.
Okay.
That's how I've been, because I guess I kind of learned it from my boss. He's always learned to delegate, although he doesn't let go at times. But what has worked for me really well is delegating and then letting them kind of take that thing, take that challenge on.
So
That's what it is.
22 years you've seen Gurgaon grow. You know, Gurgaon used to be MG Road, and MG Road को Mall Road भी कहते थे कि वहाँ malls थे.
Malls तो बाद में आए.
Malls बाद में आए, चलो कुछ buildings थे और वहीं पे सब कुछ होता था. MG Road, सिकंदरपुर, and little bit DLF 1 and all that. वहाँ से हम लोग एक्सटेंशन रोड पे आ गए, SPR में चले गए, गोल्फ कोर्स रोड पे आ गए, उधर द्वारका एक्सप्रेस वे डेवलप हो गया. यू सीन ऑल दिस एंड ग्रोथ एक तरह से स्कैटर्ड भी हुई है, थोड़ी ऑर्गेनाइज्ड भी हुई है और थोड़ी डिसऑर्गेनाइज्ड भी है, जैसे भी हुई है. बट वेयर डू यू सी गुड़गांव नाउ in the coming future after the 3 years 4 years of maddening bull run? कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गए सब pricing? Now where do you see Gurgaon as a city, as a city for people who live in and for investors also? Two different things.
See, as a city to live in, at the moment, I think it's one of the most unlivable cities with the AQI crossing
400
1000 is
1000 यहाँ पे गया था.
हाँ 900 कुछ तो क्रॉस कर गया था. But I mean that's just temporary. But in the long run, see, Gurgaon has a serious. I mean, it is a city that's going to grow.
Yeah.
Delhi, over the years, I think has it's increasingly becoming a poor cousin to Gurgaon. Because maybe the infrastructure is very old. A lot of it is 70 years old. It has narrower roads. And Delhi itself has had a haphazard growth. So I think Gurgaon has taken on Delhi in a big way. And aane wale saalon mein, in fact, you know, the first few sectors till about sector 56, 58, 57 maybe, Gurgaon की growth भी बड़ी
haphazard थी.
Like आपने MG Road बोला, MG Road के that was a main CBD. And उसी पे रेजिडेंशियल डेवलपमेंट्स भी हैं, मॉल्स भी हैं,
सब एक साथ है,
ऑफिसेज भी हैं, सब कुछ साथ में है और उसी में
मार्केट्स भी है.
मार्केट्स भी हैं. Similarly, Golf Course Road, which is supposed to be the most expensive address in the country today, वहाँ पर you know
एक भी शॉपिंग सेंटर नहीं है और कोई शॉपिंग सेंटर नहीं है.
190 crores का घर भी बिक रहा है. वहाँ पर एक छोटा क्लिनिक भी है, बड़ा हॉस्पिटल भी है. I mean, it's all hodgepodge. But जो नए सेक्टर्स अब बन रहे हैं उनमें I think the government's taken the pain and we'll probably see it over the years that they've defined
58 sector onwards.
Yes. They've defined the commercial belt and they've defined what is going to come where. The roads are wider. And once hopefully all this infrastructure is up, I mean, it's definitely going to be better. Already we can see that Gurgaon's taking over Delhi. We've got the best of eateries here, best of schools and hospitals and other amenities. Increasingly, people from Delhi want to move to Gurgaon.
There was a comparison, बहुत देर तक comparison चलता रहा कि सिंगापुर से बेटर हो जाएगा गुड़गांव या नहीं होगा, दुबई से बेटर हो जाएगा गुड़गांव या नहीं होगा, and a lot of bashing used to happen, नहीं होगा. With this change that it is more organized, these sectors are more organized, do you think that can happen?
It may happen. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. Over the next 5 or 10 years. But eventually, it may happen that. But उसके लिए government की तरफ से push बहुत ज़्यादा चाहिए. Gurgaon is a very neglected city by the state government.
State government.
I mean, for the last 14 or 15 years, I'm driving an SUV बिकॉज जब मैं सेडान चलाती थी वो पॉट होल्स में धस के टूट जाती थी गाड़ी, तब बुरा हाल हो जाता है। वी डोंट हैव प्रॉपर रोड्स।
Till date.
जाइए आप गोल्फ कोर्स रोड पे भी जाइए, कचरे के ढेर पड़े हुए हैं। अभी आपके ऑफिस के बाहर भी हम तो क्या है, आई मीन वी डोंट हैव अ प्रॉपर म्युनिसिपैलिटी। दे नीड टू क्लीन अप द सिटी। दिस सिटी इन टर्म्स ऑफ रेवेन्यू आई थिंक गुड़गांव सबसे ज़्यादा
जनरेट करता है।
So the government also needs to wake up, and the government also needs to give the city a little push from their end. We deserve better roads. We deserve cleanliness.
The amount of taxes we are paying.
Absolutely, the EDC and ITC that gets collected from Gurgaon,
And GST.
it pays up for the
EDC, IDC, GST, stamp duty.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I think it pays up for the rest of the state in a big way. It kind of provides for the rest of the state. So the government needs to provide better facilities and better infrastructure in the city. कुछ अब push आने लगा है सरकार की तरफ से, like the Dwarka Expressway
Belt as well.
that government's worked big time on it, and because they're connecting various parts of the country through that Dwarka Expressway, so वहाँ पर देखने को मिल रहा है. I just hope that rest of the Gurgaon also sees that push.
The extension road that metro has been announced.
Yes.
Now, अब इससे एक fundamental question उठता है. We all know that the infrastructure is not good enough for the current population. अभी current population के लिए roads अच्छी नहीं है, ये नहीं है, और हम real estate में इतने साल काम करने के बाद हम खुद ये बात बोल रहे हैं. फिर भी क्यों बढ़ रहा है गुड़गांव? प्राइस वाइज क्यों बढ़ रहा है? एस्पिरेशन वाइज, हर एक की एस्पिरेशन है गुड़गांव. प्राइस वाइज क्यों बढ़ रहा है? एस्पिरेशन वाइज क्यों बढ़ रहा है? लाइक मैं किसी एक क्लाइंट के साथ था येस्टरडे, तो ही स्टडीड फ्रॉम ISB. Okay, he did his MBA from ISB and he said मेरे 60-65 लोग हैं, और वो 60-65 लोग मेरे फ्रेंड्स हैं from different parts of the country, different cities, and all are filthy rich. He said उन सबको पैसे लगाने हैं गुड़गांव में. Everybody wants a piece of गुड़गांव. तो इतना खराब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होने के बावजूद,
इतना भी खराब नहीं,
मतलब फिर भी जितना खराब है,
हाँ,
उसके बावजूद क्यों बढ़ रहा है?
विपिन उसके कई रीजंस हो सकते हैं. एंड शुरू से व्हाट्स वर्क फॉर गुड़गांव, आई थिंक द वन स्टोरी दैट वी वुड टेल all these MNCs that were looking at offices here initially was the proximity to the
airport. Okay.
All said and done, I mean Gurgaon, the biggest plus point of Gurgaon is that Keyword
airport के पास में, हाँ.
And over the course of the years, most of the Fortune 500 companies have got their headquarters
here.
सबने अपने, I mean, फरीदाबाद तो never took off really, but नोएडा में भी I think back offices ज़्यादा गए हैं. दिल्ली में जगह
थी नहीं तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं,
तो वो corporates couldn't go there. So most of the Fortune 500 companies have their headquarters here. And I see most of the startups also kind of mushrooming from this city. So I think that also has worked. अब वो top companies यहाँ आई है, तो any other organization or business that deals with them
वो भी यही आएंगे.
So that's
फिर उनके employees भी यहाँ पे आते हैं.
Yeah.
फिर उनके relatives भी आ जाते हैं.
Absolutely. So that's what. And like I told you, over the years, Gurgaon definitely has much better hospital infrastructure, schools, eating outlets, malls. So, I mean, वो over the years aspirational बनता जा रहा है for everyone.
ऐसा भी है कि गुड़गांव is I think the only cosmopolitan city in North India. यहाँ पे हर culture के लोग आ गए.
It is a melting pot of various cultures. I mean, मेरे बिल्डिंग में हर जगह के लोग रह रहे हैं. It is a melting pot of cultures, and because everyone is working in these organizations, तो वो सारे यहाँ
different states से, different countries से आके आ जाते हैं. So that we've not seen. Like Delhi जो है primarily पंजाबी बनिया है और कुछ नहीं है. तो और नॉर्थ इंडिया की हर सिटी में ऐसे ही स्पेसिफिक वो है. आई थिंक ये सिर्फ इकलौती सिटी है ऐसा है.
हाँ, well to an extent maybe नोएडा में होगा, but गुड़गांव में तो है, because there's so many corporates here and people who come to work in those organizations. तो वो तो हर जगह से ही आते हैं. They're not just North Indians or Delhiites who come to work. The people from all over जो आते हैं.
Your advice to investors when they invest in real estate, whether in Gurgaon or anywhere in the world?
Well, they need to buy a product on the merit of that product
Okay.
and not because someone's selling them a financial.
अब मेरिट में क्या देखना है उनको?
आप अगर रेजिडेंशियल प्रोजेक्ट देख रहे हैं तो पहले तो व्हाट आर यू लुकिंग फॉर इन व्हेन यू इन्वेस्टिंग इन अ रेजिडेंशियल प्रोजेक्ट, आपको क्या एमिनिटीज चाहिए. आई थिंक यू नीड टू सी वेदर द प्रोजेक्ट इज द काइंड्स दैट विल अप्रिशिएट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, वेदर it is built for today's times. You need to look at the rates.
Okay.
You need to see whether you will have to do some survey of the rates that are going around you or around that project and see whether the rate being quoted to you is realistic. It's in line with what's the going rate around that area, and whatever rate you're paying, whether you're getting amenities that kind of go with that rate.
अब इसमें ना एक आई वुड से एक प्रॉब्लम है इसमें प्राइसिंग में. प्रॉब्लम ये है कि कस्टमर कई बार खुद आके डिफाइन करना शुरू हो जाता है कि इसकी 25,000 नहीं, इसकी 20,000 प्राइसिंग होनी चाहिए. तो वो करेक्ट रेट उसको कैसे समझ में आएगा कि ये प्रोडक्ट का ये प्राइस पे ठीक है? वो मुझे नहीं लगता कोई इन्वेस्टर क्रैक कर पाता है. या
करते तो है ही विपिन. देर आर आई रिमेम्बर जब 2011-12 ये बात जब
डाउनफॉल हुआ था. हाँ.
एंड आई नो ऑफ सम इन्वेस्टर्स जो सिर्फ जहाँ पर डेस्परेट डील्स आती थी
वो खरीदते थे.
they had that, some of these guys had that knack, वो एक ही प्रोजेक्ट में डेस्परेट डील्स लेते थे and they would kind of
मेकअप
use that to make money. But at any given point of time, there are smart investors and there are foolish investors. There are people who will always buy at a peak and let that project or the market fall. And there are people who will buy at various stages, right? So, जो inventory market में आई है, जो supply आई है, it has to get absorbed.
ओके.
अब जो investor, sometimes actually the more foolish ones are the best investors, and that's what it is said, not just in real estate, the stock market as well. जो ज़्यादा ओवर एनालाइज करते हैं शायद
वो फंस जाते हैं.
वो फंसते हैं, एंड आई एम वन ऑफ दोस.
स्टॉक मार्केट में या रियल एस्टेट में? अच्छा. जो ज़्यादा ओवर एनालाइज करते हैं.
या तो बिकॉज जब आपको यू सीन अ सर्टेन प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट एट अ सर्टेन प्राइस, तो वो उससे जब ऊपर जाता है आपको हर प्राइस पे वो महंगा ही लगता है. तो देयर इज नो राइट और रॉन्ग टाइम टू गेट इन. But obviously, जब market overheated है and over supply है, that's not the time when you want to get.
So I would say आप हैरान हो गए. मैं इतने लोगों के लिए नेगोशिएशन करता हूँ. आपके साथ भी बहुत बार कई प्रोजेक्ट्स में लड़ाई भी हुई है, नेगोशिएशन भी हुई है. मैं जब अपने लिए प्रॉपर्टी खरीदता हूँ मैं नेगोशिएट नहीं करता.
अच्छा.
I just go by because I come from the background of I've heard my grandfather especially and little bit my father. My father कल भी मेरे बेटे को सुना रहे थे स्टोरीज कि ये वाला फार्म हाउस हमने ऐसे छोड़ दिया, ये हमने 17 लाख का खरीद के 19 लाख का बेच दिया. एंड तो माई सन वॉज लाइंग डाउन एंड ही जस्ट सेड कि आप उनमें से एक चीज़ रख लेते. तो आप सारी चीज़ यही बता रहे हो, ये हमने छोड़ दिया, ये हमने खरीद के बेच दिया. सो आई कम फ्रॉम द प्रीमाइस, आपके पास पैसे हैं,
Buy and hold.
आपके पास पैसे हैं, आप खरीद लो. आप उसके बाद सोचो इसका होगा क्या. रियल एस्टेट अल्टीमेटली पैसे दे जाता है.
Absolutely. So you just need to have the patience and a long-term horizon.
एंड लॉन्ग टर्म कितना रियल एस्टेट में आपके हिसाब से होना चाहिए?
Within anything above 7 years is good.
Yeah.
Because आप उससे कम में देखेंगे तो then you're looking at it more like a financial instrument than real estate. But I think over a course of 7 years तो market आपको बहुत अच्छा रिटर्न देना शुरू कर देता है.
मैं आपको बताता हूँ. आई वॉज टॉकिंग टू अ फाइनेंस पर्सन राइट नाउ, थोड़ी देर पहले. ही इज़ इन माई को वर्किंग ओनली एंड दे एडवाइज पीपल ऑन म्यूचुअल फंड्स, और सिर्फ म्यूचुअल फंड्स पे एडवाइस करते हैं, नो स्टॉक मार्केट्स. और तो मैंने उससे पूछा कि आप, तो मेरी उससे कुछ डिस्कशन हो रही थी, मेरे को कुछ इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी है. उसने बोला कि मिनिमम होराइजन जो हम देखते हैं वो 3 years देखते हैं. म्यूचुअल फंड में बोल रहा हूँ.
Absolutely.
बोलता 3 years प्लस जब आप जाओगे तो मैं सोचूंगा कि हाँ आप में वेट करने की पेशेंस है. तो म्यूचुअल फंड में भी वो 3 years प्लस देख रहे हैं. रियल एस्टेट में अभी इस समय मार्केट में लोग 6 महीने में अप्रिसिएशन या 1 महीने में पैसे बनाने की 1 साल में पैसे बनाने की सोच
6 महीने आप बहुत ज़्यादा बोल रहे हो,
रहे
एंड स्पेशली इन द करंट मार्केट मेरे ख्याल से लोग 1 महीना भी नहीं देख रहे.
हैं.
दे जस्ट सीइंग दैट उन्होंने 30 लाख लगाए, 30 पे 30 मुझे मिलेगा या 30 पे 25 मिलेगा तो मैं निकलूँ. अभी लोग 1 महीना भी नहीं देख रहे. So we're in that frenzy state in the real estate market where, you know, some people who, because understand that
और बने भी हैं पैसे. हाँ.
2013 के बाद until about 2021, the market has been extremely slow and it kind of bottomed out, I think, by 2020 or so. तो उसके बाद जब it corrected and went upwards and people, even before any of us could realize what was happening,
It just
the market just zoned.
shut up. हाँ.
So anybody who made money or, you know, their friend made,
Thinks he's very smart.
तो and आपने अगर पैसे बनाए, you told your friend or your family that, you know, मेरा ये मैंने से 50 लाख लगाए और आज मुझे 2 करोड़
2 करोड़ मिलते हैं. हाँ.
तो दूसरा बंदा
खत्म हो जाता है. वो सोच ही नहीं सकता.
लग रहा है कि नहीं मुझे भी लगाना है, वो भी 50 लाख लगाएगा. एंड आई हैव मेट पीपल आई थिंक द लास्ट 2-3 months जिन्होंने अगेन द सेम ओल्ड
System.
मल्टीपल प्रॉपर्टीज में 50 लाख लगाए.
अब अगली वो देने के लिए पैसे नहीं है.
Double.
हाँ.
And they're the ones who are going to get trapped, and they're the ones who will be the reason for the downfall of the market because they will not have money to pay.
ये आपको लगता भी होगा. They won't have money to pay.
Of course, there are so many people I know who don't have the money to pay and they have invested in multiple units. ये हर बार होता है, मतलब it's not the first time we see it. I think we're already at a phase where the markets had such an amazing bull run. I think
Yes.
it's been an unprecedented bull run.
Nobody is seeing something like that.
And इतनी supply आई है over the last
सारी कंज्यूम हो गई.
that फिलहाल के लिए तो लगता है consume हुई है, but a lot of it has also been bought by punters
हाँ.
who either invested in multiple properties, not having the money to pay for all of that, or who don't have to have the money to complete payments even for one. उन्होंने इसलिए लिए कि उनको अपने principal जो लगाया उसको double करना है in a course of 1 or 2 or 3 months. तो शायद हम उस phase में हैं जहाँ अभी that supply that's coming
हाँ.
is getting absorbed, but that absorption is going to be slow.
Slow.
It's going to take a few years for that absorption to happen.
Karishma, now let's talk about super luxury. अभी गुड़गांव के जितने भी न्यूज़पेपर में everywhere that you hear 190 crores का अपार्टमेंट बिक गया, 100 का बिक गया, 120 का. अभी DLF's new launch, they are talking about average ticket size as 100 crores. And that's super luxury. हमने ये इंडिया में कहीं सुनी नहीं है. मतलब इससे पहले ये अनहर्ड ऑफ फिगर्स या अनहर्ड ऑफ काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट रहे हैं. व्हाट डू यू वांट टू से ऑन दिस? लाइक दिस इज टेम्पररी या ये सिर्फ DLF कर सकता है और दिस इज द न्यू इंडिया? व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? ये क्या है? बिकॉज फॉर सम पीपल इट्स अनबिलीवेबल. लाइक आई पर्सनली टेल यू, I told my dad that I sold a super luxury at this some whopping price.
Yeah.
So he looked at me and he said, क्या बात कर रहे हो? लाल किला बेच रहे हो क्या? जो तुम ये अपार्टमेंट की बात कर रहे हो. He came and he started shouting at me कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? I said, ऐसा है. तो what is happening? Like, what is this frenzy about?
I don't think it's a frenzy. Personally, that's what I feel. I think we're kind of just getting on the global map.
Okay.
And I'm a firm believer that the next 30 odd years belong to India. I mean, I very strongly believe that. And we just kind of started. Like, हमारे यहाँ पे ये super luxury and real super luxury and luxury अब आना शुरू
हुआ है.
And I think there are enough and more people who are making good money, who's I mean, there are a whole lot of startups and whole lot of new entrepreneurs who are coming in on a regular basis and who are kind of going to take the country from where it is today to maybe a global superpower. I mean, I believe that the next 30 years belong to us at least, and usme these cities like Gurgaon are going to play a major role.
Okay.
So I think we've just begun and we've seen more of this.
More of this happening.
Times. DLF has been the leader in this city, and hopefully we'll have some more people kind of come up. But आप अगर बॉम्बे देखें and some other parts of the country, Bangalore and other places, there are many developers. Even in Pune, there are many developers creating these
super luxury.
projects, not of the level that you've seen in Gurgaon, obviously, but traditionally you would always see these kind of projects come up in Bombay and elsewhere. But I think आने वाले सालों में हमें और भी देखने को
बोलेंगे.
Absolutely.
तो इंडिया में पैसा है लोगों के पास.
पैसा है और आगे भी बनने वाला है. इतने सारे नई कंपनीज आ रही हैं और इतने सारे लोग इतना अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. तो definitely, and all of those people would aspire for better living. I mean, anyone who lives in a certain, has a certain lifestyle today generally wants to upgrade over a period of time, right? So I'm sure all these guys will want bigger and
better homes.
So you're at a tipping point. I think अब और हमें देखने को मिलेगा.
Wow.
Over the next few years.
One question, जो ये 100 crores के घर खरीदते हैं, मेरे पास इसके अपने पॉइंट्स हैं, बट आप ये बताओ एज एन इन्वेस्टर जो ये खरीदते हैं, ये अप्रिसिएशन, लाइक व्हाट इज द काइंड ऑफ अप्रिसिएशन डू दे लुक एट? क्योंकि कई लोग सोचते हैं 100 करोड़ में भी अप्रिसिएशन होगी.
विपिन, ये कितने घर बन रहे हैं? पहले तो द नंबर ऑफ
400, 500, 1000
बहुत लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ अपार्टमेंट्स हैं. एंड इट इजंट जस्ट दैट अपार्टमेंट, इट्स दैट entire environment around these hyped apartments that you're talking about, this whole community. तो वो बहुत वैसा infrastructure आपको, it's not going to get replicated elsewhere in the city. तो वो एक बहुत unique proposition गुड़गांव के लिए, अगर आप, I mean, you're referring to that certain pocket.
Golf links, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very unique proposition where you have that golf course and you have these extra parks that are getting made. And you have this low density development that they're kind of expanding. तो वो number ही इतना कम है that anyone who aspires for that kind of a lifestyle, I'm sure would want to be there. अब
so ये price नहीं होगा?
हाँ, मेरे ख्याल से तो appreciation definitely, I mean, over the course of time बढ़ेगी, because these are very few. They're just
like Luton's Delhi. पृथ्वीराज रोड, अमृता, शेरगिल मार्ग, कभी लगता तो बहुत महंगे हैं और वो भी प्राइसिंग बढ़ ही रही है.
वो इन्वेंट्री इतनी कम है विपिन, आप देखें भी तो कितने सारे लोग एस्पायर करते हैं कि वो एक अच्छे ऐसे कॉम्प्लेक्स में रहें. तो
आई वुड से 99.5% ऑफ पीपल इन गुड़गांव, उन्होंने देखा भी नहीं होगा कि गोल्फ लिंक्स के अंदर क्या है. सो दे हैव नो क्लू व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट.
But that is an aspirational lifestyle for many. But for someone who can afford, I mean, कितने units हैं?
कितने units? I got it. Now, one more thing. Do you think those kind of pricing or that kind of community, it makes the impact on the pricing of entire Gurgaon?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So
yes कैसे, no कैसे?
Yes इसलिए कि जब बाकी लोग सुनते हैं कि 190 crores का यूनिट बिक गया है या ऑन एन एवरेज
100 crores के अपार्टमेंट,
100 crores के घर बिक रहे हैं, तो वो भी अपनी प्राइसिंग वाकई
ट्वीक करना चाहते हैं,
अपनी प्राइसिंग को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, बिकॉज उनको लगता है कि हमारा भी जो हमारी डेवलपमेंट है उसमें भी ऐसी प्राइसिंग मिले. बट लाइक आई सेड, इट्स अ वेरी यूनिक सेटिंग एंड you have to understand what all is going into these apartments. I mean, they're more than your normal, offering in the market. So, while it does affect overall, हमारे rates to appreciate हुए ही over the last 3 years. We've seen this big growth. And, you were mentioning to me that some other apartments on the golf course have now touched 60,000.
Yeah.
Others maybe
40,000, 35,000 per square feet. Yeah.
And Extension Road पे भी
20,000 plus per square feet. Yeah.
Going up to 30, 32 also. Maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it has helped probably benchmark the rates across the city, but at the same time, this is a very different, unique setting.
Unique setting.
You can't kind of compare and say, हाँ, हमारे भी हम भी 100 crore के घर में.
I got it. Now, the new generation, are they also in line with having big houses? What is the trend from the new generation? जो अभी फ्रॉम व्हाट आई हैव हर्ड, जो न्यू होम बायर है, पहले क्या होता था 50+ वाले ही डिसीजन लेते थे, अभी 25-30 ईयर्स वाले भी डिसीजन ले रहे हैं. व्हाट इज देयर माइंडसेट लाइक? व्हाट डू दे लुक इन टू अ होम डिफरेंटली देन व्हाट द अर्लियर जनरेशन यूज्ड टू?
I don't think, Vipin, they look at bigger sizes
Okay.
of homes. So they are more interested in what all amenities they're going to get in the
Get.
apartment. So with their apartment, I'm sorry. तो वो तो देखते हैं कि common areas में और ऐसी क्या चीज़ें मुझे मिलेंगी, and how is my place going to be different? How is it going to enable me to maybe even work from home or, you know, socialize with my friends? So they're looking at those various other amenities, not necessarily what they get within the four walls of their homes. So increasingly, I see that at least the younger people are not so keen on larger units, but they definitely are conscious and they want to see आप और क्या दे रहे हो in that condo complex.
करियर्स की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, तो करियर पहले कैसे देखा जाता था और ये कैसे इवॉल्व हुआ है और आगे फ्यूचर आप क्या देखते हो?
So Vipin, when I started working, तो उस वक्त तो real estate as an industry used to be looked down upon. The general perception was कि real estate में लोग ठगते हैं. Be it a developer, लगता था कि ये ठग रहा है. Brokers के बारे में भी यही था कि brokers ठग रहे हैं, they never speak the truth. और जो कि उस वक्त होता भी था to a large extent. And real estate professionals के बारे में भी ऐसी ही छवि होती थी कि you know, the entire industry is such.
क्लियर पिक्चर नहीं देंगे,
झूठ बोलेंगे, झूठ कुछ भी बोल के.
ब्रोशर में कुछ और दिखाते हैं, एक्चुअल कुछ और होता है.
And which used to happen. It's quite rampant. Unfortunately, a lot of very big development firms also would kind of resort to those.
These में
आपको एक बड़ा you know, fancy brochure दिखाते थे, जब प्रोजेक्ट बन के आता था
कुछ और.
सर पकड़ के बैठे थे और धरने दे रहे होते थे कि ये क्या हमें मिल गया. So, but over the course, real estate as an industry and, you know, it has become increasingly more professional. A lot of very good professionals are choosing to be in this industry. A lot of new, you know, development firms that you see have taken the professional route, where and a lot of big corporates also got into
real estate
at the same time.
like Godrej, Birla and all.
Yes, a lot of these guys, and they kind of helped to professionalize this industry. We also had RERA and some other, you know, वहाँ से भी बहुत मदद हुई because अब आप चाहके भी आप झूठ नहीं बोल सकते.
नहीं बोल सकते.
You can't siphon off the money and put it
elsewhere. That I think that is the biggest thing.
Yes, absolutely.
एक प्रोजेक्ट का पैसा उसी में जाएगा.
Yeah. So the industry has professionalized over the course of time, and a lot of people, I think, now want to make a career in
this industry.
Over a period, ये भी हुआ है कि लोगों को लगता है कि यहाँ पे बहुत पैसा
बहुत है.
So that also is attracting a lot of youngsters to either get onto the developer side, or, you know, on the channel partner side, and increasingly many people are getting into this industry.
Any advice you want to give the youngsters? The professionals,
Yeah.
the new guys, a career advice or how they should be operating in this scenario?
And if you're talking about real estate, industry,
yeah.
I mean, it's a damn good industry to be in. And this is the industry of growth. I mean, घर बनने तो कम होंगे नहीं. लोग और घर लेंगे, offices और बनेंगे, retail और बनेगा. So as the country grows, as our economy grows, this industry is also going to grow. So, and like increasingly, like I said, we're getting more professionals. So you can definitely make a long-term career in this industry. And what I mean, as a professional, I'd say that अगर आपको, if you feel that your heart's in it, वो कोई भी इंडस्ट्री हो, whether it is real estate or any other, where you feel that आपको Monday morning blues नहीं हो रहे कि हाय मुझे काम पे जाना है. So if you're enjoying what you're doing, तो any industry is good. But real estate definitely over the course of the next a few decades is going to grow as the country grows.
So from what I know, Karishma, you travel a lot. Okay. You love traveling. And sometimes, how many days a year you must be traveling? I'm sure you must have kept a track.
No, I don't keep a track. But within every 3 months I need to unwind.
Okay.
So मुझे I need to take time off.
Okay.
And I mean, traveling kind of helps me reboot and rejuvenate and get back to work.
इस इंडस्ट्री में इतना टाइम मिल जाता है ट्रैवल करने के लिए?
हाँ, luckily मिल जाता है.
ओके करिश्मा, फाइनल क्वेश्चन. मैं ये सोच रहा था, जो हमारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इश्यूज हैं, इफ द गवर्नमेंट गिव्स दिस टू इनटू प्राइवेट हैंड्स, सी आर डेवलपर्स आर डूइंग अ गुड जॉब, सम ऑफ देम आर डूइंग अ रियली गुड जॉब. डू यू थिंक गुड़गांव एक ऐसी सिटी है कि इसके सारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इश्यूज किसी प्राइवेट डेवलपर को दे देने चाहिए एज अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, ऑब्वियसली एज अ बिजनेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट? विल दैट सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम?
I think that definitely would solve the problem, Vipin. I think a private organization can always do a better job than a government organization, because then they don't limit themselves to working with just the cheapest resources.
Cheapest, okay.
तो आप देखें, in fact, not just for roads or for road infrastructure, आप airports भी देखें, जो हमारे airport authority
पहले थी.
अपने in-house architects वगैरह से जो projects बनवाती है.
हाँ.
And if you see the new airports that have come up, and
Bangalore, Hyderabad,
yeah,
Bombay.
I mean, they're in a different league, because
Yeah.
here the private companies that took on those projects didn't limit themselves to just some designers. They went to the best
Best.
all over the globe. तो अगर यहाँ पे भी आप एक एग्जाम्पल तो आपने हम सब देख ही रहे, the way
Golf Course Road
has transformed over the years, how it is equivalent to the best road
anywhere in the world.
So अगर ये private contracts पे दे दें, and I'm sure we'll be able to see something much different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good for the city.
I really wish that this reaches the right people and it gets privatized. We'll have a Singapore, or better than Singapore, very soon.
We could.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much, Karishma. It was a fabulous conversation with you, and
Thank you for having me, Vipin.
I'm sure many people will take a lot of advantage from
I
it.
hope so.
So thank you so much, everybody, for another great podcast. Thank you.